Yeah, Red's just got so many Banelings out on the field right now, and he was able to take out about half of the tanks from Thorzain during that push, which is going to make a huge difference when he does decide to finally engage with all these Lings and Banelings. And it looks like that time is now moving in with all these Lings and Banelings. The Mutas are going to come in from the south. No, not controlling Mutalisk, but the Banelings get huge hits off on the Marines, and now Thorzain's entire army has been cleaned up. As a Terran player, losing an army that expensive, all those tanks, one Thor, and all those Marines, Red's going to take this time, I'm sure, to either tech up or drone up, and we do see the infestation pit going down for him.
Yeah, the continual building up of the tiers with the Zerg unit is another wonderful way to use that race. You can keep pumping Zerglings and Banelings to wipe out the units that would take out your Mutalisks, which are the Marines. Oh, speaking of Marines, they take out some Mutalisks that are having to fly by, but they're able to go over the pass. Oh, and they take out that Marine. They're still in Thorzain's space, continually being a harassment and his forces are just waiting outside to go up the ramp, and he's sending a Thor and a Marine over, and Red is sending his Mutalisks back up through the top of the space.
Yeah, and Red had been doing such a good job of keeping his Mutas untouched, but just took 2 big volleys from that Thor. So the Mutalisks are going to have to be very, very careful from here on out. Doesn't want to lose those Mutas. They are very expensive. Thorzain now taking his third base, and I really like the positioning of this third base. We saw him pushing along that bottom path earlier, and it's always a good idea for Terrans to expand along their attack path against Zerg. You want to be able to have a nice place for your siege tanks to rally to and a planetary fortress to set up at. Be able to start poking out with a big siege, but again, the Mutalisks are hitting this front wall. A ton of Mutas and Zerglings moving in for a gigantic counterattack. Thorzain's going to have to move his entire army back, but at the same time, about 12 or 20 Zerglings trying to move in to take out that planetary, but the 2 siege tanks are going to shut that down. And now the Marines are back, fending off all those Mutas and Zerglings from LiquidRet.
Oh, and the Mutas are heading to that other expansion. It looks like the Thor is going to go down. So many Mutas. So many Mutas just wiping out that base.
Yeah, nice magic box there, and you see Red up at that magic number, the 18 or 16 to 24 mark on the Mutas is when they start getting super, super scary, and Thorzain's just going to have to be all over the place to try and deal with these Mutas. And at the same time, saying another big Zergling counterattack to the front. We're going to have to see how much damage you can do. That wall has not been recreated by Thorzain. Zerglings look like they're going to move in. You see if they go to the main or into the natural, and then a bunch of Banelings and Mutalisks coming to the planetary fortress. Looks like the planetary is going to go down. At the same time, the Zerglings are cleaning up a few stray tanks in the natural expansion. There goes down the third base for Thorzain, and at this point, down 154 to 66 food. I don't know how how Thorzain's going to be able to come back in this one.
Yeah, the terrible, terrible damage that Thorzain's forces have sustained from the continual Zergling assault. We still have LiquidRet with 1, 2, 3 bases saturated. Well, his latest one continuing to pump out drones.
But right now, a huge drop in the main base of Ret. 2 dropships full of Marines were able to take out that lair.
And there's the GG.
But yeah, it wasn't going to be enough for him at that point. Down to 24 SCVs, had just about no army left. And this huge flock of Mutas and Festers were probably on the way shortly here. Good game by Ret there.
Very good game. Very good use of the continual harassment of the Mutalisks. And so definitely take notes for the bouncing of in between the different bases that Thorzain had to continually put pressure on its economy and to force him to make Marines, and then to create one of the ultimate counters against Marines, the Baneling.
Yeah, I really liked that push, the first push by Thorzain along that bottom path. He just got caught unsieged, and as you move across the map, you've really got to be careful. I really like some players I see, like QXC, is really adamant about sending one scouting Marine out in front of the rest of his forces so he doesn't get caught out of position like that, but Thorzain got all of his tanks caught out of position, lost half of them to just the Banelings, and the Mutas were able to clean up the rest. And from that point on, felt like Thorzain was kind of playing from behind.
Yep, definitely a good game between these 2 pro players. Awesome match.